Thought you gonna come through the wall instead of the door and shit. You know what I'm saying?
The difference between me and you, as the woman who I had problems with, liked to see me look good.
Well, she like to see him look just in cuffs.
Just in parts and pieces.
Ooh, y'all get hurt.
Shady, my bad.
I'm still healing.
Goddamn, Jackie.
You just noticed that?
Looking like something out of Thor.
Right?
This is the Mad Max.
God damn. Look at this motherfucker.
The Comic-Con.
Welcome back, motherfucker.
Fit on and whatnot.
You know, it's good good to see you here, not on creep mode. You know what I'm saying? I saw that shit. I'm like, this motherfucker ain't got nothing better else to do. Hey, bro, can I hold that shit?
I thought this was the chair you wanted.
No,
I just
sir.
switched it.
No, sir, blue.
Oh.
They got wider hips.
Time we get this joint started.
Are we doing it? Let me just...
It'd be a 701. So,
Oh, yeah. Let me go to mine. Where are we? Did we test? We didn't test the microphones. I think it was Mr. Kool-Aid that kind of distracted us.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I just heard them work all four on, so all four.
Sound like, oh yeah.
I appreciate you coming through the door and not the wall, sir.
Oh, yeah?
We got jokes.
He like ISIS with the jokes underneath.
Okay.
Man, ain't that something? Got celebrities in the motherfucking building.
Okay.
Mad Max,
Mad Max under
Corona
the
Man, Kool-Aid Man, and Barney.
And Barney.
That a bitch.
I love you. You love me. We're live, folks. We are live, and the show haven't even got started.
Oh man, that's funny.
The queen is here.
Damn.
Are we ready? Are we testing? I mean, what we doing?
Well, it's on. I started.
Okay, hello. And welcome to...
Well, it's the intro running.
Oh, that nasty woman again?
Yeah, I can't do nothing about that.
I'm just saying, she is the bomb. Oh, yeah.
Blossom with the juice of sweet nectar.
Coochie.
Must take inside.
Really, man. I
I
kept that in the bag just for that purpose.
No, once I cool down, I'm good. I'm cool down, I'm good.
Oh, I felt that all the way over here.
You make it colder? No, it's colder. That temperature that said 80?
Oh, it'd be cold for you. Yeah.
My nipples are.
Really. I'm
Real
just saying.
feminine.
Really. Okay, and we're live, folks. Welcome to the Intimacy Chronicles. I am your host, Queen Jackie, and we're going to start to my right today. So, say who you are.
I'm the right hand man today. Rich. Quiet Storm.
Quiet Storm. And to my left.
What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? You got your boy, Dr. Love, in the building. What's happening?
And to the far left.
He's an angry black man.
Oh, God, he's still angry. So, slide over some Quiet Storm. So, yeah. All right. So, last week, as you know, we discussed fetishes, sexual fetish. So, I came in today prepared to share my sexual fetish. So, I'm going to stand up so you all can take in all of this. And wait a minute, I even have a whip. Hold on. So, Where's
Did
my
you
whip?
mention that the horns were honking walking into the studio?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my fetish. I like costumes for my Facebook people, and here's my whip. I don't know who's getting whipped tonight, but it all goes with the attire. If you don't know, wait, let me put my shit down because I'm hanging out. If you don't know who this costume is a replica of Mad Max, Tina Turner. So, but I like costumes.
We don't need another hero.
And that's my fetish. And the whip is just an added bonus because I like a whip. But
Don't
that's
forget
just me.
She also has the Prince ass out.
Got
Yeah.
the ass out in the back. So pictures will
damn.
come later. But yes, costume dress up is one of my fetishes. And I imitate Tina a lot. Because I got all this goddamn hair, I couldn't put the Tina wig on, so we just go with the blonde.
And
today.
it's hot as a motherfucker.
And it's hot as a motherfucker, right. So that's where we are with that. And I think the guys, Quiet Storm wasn't here. He was here in our chat. But now is an opportunity to find out what his fetishes are. Or otherwise he's going to get whipped.
Wow.
Look, don't threaten me with a good time.
See, here we go. They already live and we just getting started. So
Don't threaten him with a good time.
So what are your fetishes?
I think if I had a fetish where I would call it a fetish, I think it's maybe sex in public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, it's that
The thrill
anxiety
of getting
yeah,
caught. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. It's like being a kid and trying to hurry up and have sex before your parents come in or something. Yeah. Just saying.
Wow.
I think if
Just thought, I mean, I had
the
one.
best kind is like hiding in plain sight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
is that yeah. That's exciting. The thrill of someone else watching, or maybe somebody with a voyeurism fetish could be watching. I'm just saying.
Voyeurism.
Voyeurism. Yes. So last week we discussed sexual fetish, and we had a list of 46 different types of fetishes.
46.
I mentioned what mine were, but for those of you that weren't tuned in, I like voyeurism. I like the thrill of being tickled by feathers. I forgot what that was called. I think I had 2 more on there. We know costume was definitely one, as you can see. So, but I think I had 4 all together, and I ain't ashamed, so don't fucking judge me.
No, we not. We not. We
There's
definitely
no
not.
shame in the Queen's game. Let me just say that. I think Dr. Love had about 7. But
Really?
No.
I mean, come on, man. You was talking about eating butts and carrying on.
Don't
But I
judge
was
me.
I'm not, but
Yeah.
but that was a little different because it wasn't, I think it was body parts or something, but I think that was a bit more different than what you were talking about. I think
mean,
that's
hey.
actually eating body parts.
Hey, hey.
But whatever floats your boat.
Hey, ain't nothing, women out there like to have the booty eating like groceries, you know what I'm saying?
But not a piece, not a chunk taken out their ass.
No, I don't do that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's cannibalism. that's
That was
cannibal.
one of the, don't
What
look
about
like that, Quiet Storm, because that was one of the fetishes that was on the list.
That's cannibalism. That's not me. You know?
Well, I mean, if you're eating it like it's groceries, isn't that pretty damn close?
So what's that called? Jeffrey Dahmerism?
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Wow.
No, I mean, it's
What's it
called
called?
booty eatingism.
I can't with him.
It's
with
called
that.
booty
I mean,
eatingism.
I'm not gonna be able to do
That's
it.
what it was called. I mean, hey, you know.
got the list right there.
I mean, hey, let me see. Body parts.
Yeah, it was body parts, but I can't remember the.
Like the consumption
term.
of body parts, or
Right, it was called
body parts
eating
in your
body
mouth.
parts.
Oh,
It's a little different, you know. He thinking you're talking about eating ass.
Listen, now you say what you want. I
That's
know.
what you like. We know that.
I mean, it's what's called the pigophilia. You know,
that's what it is.
arousal. You know, the buttocks. You know, eating the buttocks.
But are we talking about eating stuff that can get up and walk away after you finish eating it?
Well,
Don't
What?
fucking judge me.
a pork butt is
Don't fucking judge me. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know.
You know what we talking about? A pork butt.
You talking about? You said you like sex in public.
All right.
That's your
all
fetish.
Yeah.
When last time you and your wife did it in public?
Yesterday.
Yeah, it's been a while, but it's been a while.
But now he putting it out there. You know, he's trying to channel that. You know, so that it may pique her
Yeah.
interest.
Question is she still down for that?
Sometimes we don't make it home from dates.
And
Well.
there you have it. Yeah.
Well,
That's
hey
the
Alexandria.
extended date.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and then hey,
And the funny thing about it, last time it happened, we pulled over at an undisclosed location,
Undisclosed. Okay.
Come on.
Here we
Come on.
go.
so it looked safe, right? So I didn't
Undisclosed,
I didn't
huh?
recognize it, right? So at the time I was like in between jobs. So while I was and I saw the camera in the parking lot.
Oh my God.
fuck camera.
Yeah, I was like, fuck the camera. They don't know
Yeah.
me. But
Exactly.
Why was
They
it
know
my,
your tag.
why
No,
was-
no,
why was it
tag.
my, but it was my new employer.
Oh
What?
my God. Are you kidding
I
me?
can't make it up. I was like, oh my God.
Are you kidding
I
me?
didn't
Well,
realize it until
They know you're
like a couple
adventurous
weeks
now, so hey, they know that you're
Did
adventurous.
you continue?
Of course. How you stop in the middle?
I would have been right in the camera like, I want the job though, but don't mind me.
I didn't realize.
But I want the job
That
though.
is so
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Well, they know you take risks. You know, that makes for a great employee.
Let me see. That will put on my resume. I work well with others. I
Exactly.
Take risks.
You work well outside, you
I
know,
think
you
outside
work,
the box.
yeah, exactly. That was definitely outside the box.
I like to make sure the grounds are covered.
Okay.
Right.
Definitely not a team player, but what do you call it? An adventurous.
I enjoy doing
player.
activities outside.
Exactly,
Team building.
exactly. Team building.
Team
I
player.
like that. Team building. Not afraid to take risks.
Put all that on my resume.
Uh-huh.
Don't mind working indoors.
Working
So
hard.
I mean, I know
Outdoors,
you.
too.
Yeah, I know you're a thrill seeker. And I know you've been in the truck many times, doing your thing. So is that a fetish or
I mean,
are you just nasty?
I'm just nasty.
Yeah. I mean, I
I'm
think you
just
was gonna
nasty.
try to dress it
I'm
up.
just nasty.
You know,
I'm
like,
sorry.
what are you hesitating for?
I'm just nasty. Listen, you gotta get in where you fit in.
Well,
Sometimes the car, you know, I mean, listen, we got some hungry mosquitoes outside. Anybody really trying to,
oh my God.
you know, be doing it outside,
Mosquitoes.
you know,
Yeah,
you doing
well.
your lady
Where you going with that?
and then getting eaten in the ass. You know, that you
Well,
know.
that's your thing right
What
there.
fetish is that?
Huh?
I mean, that's your thing right there.
What?
We talk about that a lot. No, eating ass.
Don't fucking judge me. Shit. You knew what you was getting into when you first got
I'm just saying.
When you first brought me on.
We never have a show without not discussing eating ass.
Hey, but you knew what you. Hey, listen.
I
I've been a freak like that and always have been. I
Do what you
enjoy
did.
the intimacy, enjoy the love making, the whole 9 yards. So whatever I have to do to please my woman, hey, if it means eating her butt, hey, that's what I gotta do.
That means you slide his cup far away from you to make sure you don't grab his cup by mistake.
Say what you want. Yeah, look. That's why I put my own name on the shit. Hey, don't they got my name on it? No, you don't want to drink that one?
Okay.
You
So
know,
that was our discussion last week. This week, I kind of like wanted to shift gears a little bit. I mean, we can still, dip and dab with the fetishes. This week, I wanted to talk about waiting for love. How patient or impatient are we with regards to waiting for love? I think if I'm speaking for or from a woman's perspective, I think that when women reach age 30, a lot of times, and they are not in a relationship, they feel like they're running out of time. Do men feel that way?
I had some friends who got married late,
Mm-hmm.
and I think we were in our 30s, and he was single with no kids.
Okay.
And when he would go on dates, and they would ask him, it was like, you never been married, you don't have no kids.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
And that's usually the first reaction, like something is wrong, but perhaps they haven't found that right person.
Yeah. But I'm gonna say this phrase, and maybe this could kind of linger on, but as good as it gets.
Yeah.
So about love, you don't know. Like when I was 16, I thought I was in love.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found a different kind of love when I was in my 20s.
Right.
But we always talk about that ultimate love, right?
Yeah.
That mind-blowing love. But until you actually have it, you don't know.
You don't know
it
it.
existed.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
could conceivably fall in love and be
Mm-hmm.
happy and be doing your thing and be like, well, this is as good as it's gonna get.
Right.
Until you find out that it can
There's
So
something better.
until that twin flame
Yep.
come into your life,
Right,
and it's like wow, you
Yeah.
just want to give up like everything for that feeling.
Right. So
So it depends on.
So do you hold out about a type of love that you never experienced before?
Right.
Or do you just settle for, you know what, I'll be alright.
That this is good. This is, as you say, as good as it gets.
Yeah.
I think that what's interesting for women, when we're in our 30s and we're not in a relationship, it's not just about the relationship, but our biological clock is ticking. So we start to think in terms of reproducing. And we haven't had a child by the time we're age 30, we feel like time is definitely running out. And a lot of times we get into relationships for the sake of saying I'm in a relationship just to be able to have a child because our clock is ticking. So I guess it's different for men because you all aren't carrying babies, so but for us it's like we are down to the wire. And I think that when we are rushing like that, oftentimes we settle for the wrong thing just for the sake of being in a relationship.
Right.
And so like in the case of your friend, did he settle, or was this his?
He eventually got married, and it didn't work out.
Okay.
And he remarried.
Okay.
Recently. So so he didn't give up.
Right.
He can, and I think because we used to talk, right? And when I was married several years before he got married, and he used to ask me about love and stuff, and he said, "Man, I wish I could feel that."
Yeah.
What you described it. And I said, "Yeah, it's got its ups and downs,
It does.
I would say I'm happily married with issues. But he said he just never experienced that.
Right.
Or he had the one person that he was kind of waited for, that he wanted to have a relationship with.
Okay.
So nothing didn't really work out too much. So.
And so you at 39, do you feel like you're racing against time, or how do you feel? And as far as patiently waiting for love or impatiently waiting?
That's a good question. It's like this: when you've been in love, and just like Quiet Storm was saying, when you've been in love, and you believe that it's the real thing, you put all the eggs in the basket, because when you're around 16, you don't really know what love is, but it's just a
That's
feeling.
your first experience,
Right,
so
and it's just
like
a feeling, you know,
earth-shattering,
because see, you know, I don't know about y'all, but, you know, when you're 16 and you think you're in love, the worst feeling is when somebody older than you come and say, you experiencing that puppy love. Like, what the hell is that? I'm not a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you gonna tell me how I
we
feel?
are guilty of saying that
It hurts the
to
same.
children. Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
oh, that ain't nothing but puppy
That's
love.
just puppy love.
That's
We
going
minimize it.
fade away or
Yeah,
whatever. But
yeah.
sometimes it doesn't fade away. Now, I haven't been a victim of, you know, where I've been in love with somebody since 16, and we've been, you know, childhood friends all the way up to that point. But, you know, just like you all have the biological clock, we as men, believe it or not, we have something similar to that.
And see, that's what I was wondering. You know,
We have something similar to that. Like, y'all's are 30.
Yeah.
We feel like once we start turning 40, like we really trying to, you know, we really trying to be settled down. We really trying to, you know, have a family, you know, and I mean, I got one, you know, next year I'll be 40, so everything will probably start changing. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, you know, when I turned 30, that light went off.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I'm 30. 35 came, I'm like, oh my God, I'm 35. Now, it's like, the way time flies, it's like, oh man, next year I'll be 40 years old.
Right, right.
Now, okay, I only have one daughter now, you know what I'm saying? But to be to the point where, and it's kind of messed up because it's like, you know, when you turn 40, that light bulb goes off again. But then, before you turn 40, it's like, you know, you're seeing a whole bunch of people like you, already married, already got time invested, you know, and you're looking at yourself like, man,
what's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, when am I going, you know, but I don't want to rush marriage, you know, I don't want to rush marriage, but, you know, if the time comes, it comes, because there are some people that never got married.
True.
They not dating, they ain't in love with nobody, they just living their life. I want to be married.
Marriage isn't for everybody, and I think some people know that. You know, I know people that are happily single. If marriage happens, they're okay with it. If it doesn't, they're still fine.
And I'm more half and half now.
Okay.
Like, I want to be married, but at the same token, you know, marriage is a lot of work. You know, it's another job. That's forever. You know, richer for poor.
Yeah.
Death do you part. You know, like, I don't play with the vows. You know what I'm saying? And people say them and don't even know what they really mean. They just say them just so they can say they're married.
Well, yeah, and I find that to be the case with quite a few people. They just get married for the sake of it's something to do.
It's something to do.
But it is I think that when you go into it with that mind frame, you've already set yourself up for failure because it's something to do. Does that mean you're not going to work at it because it's just something to do? So when the novelty of it wears off, what happens next?
Well, when people fall in love with that special someone, that means there's a difference in loving somebody and there's a difference in love. When you in love, that's just like no holds bars. That's your ride or die right there. Can't nobody come in between that. So when you in love with somebody, it plays a whole different part. Some people get married because they don't want they know somebody else may be trying to creep in, and they don't want them to creep in, so they marry them.
That's dumb.
You know, some people marry a person because of finances. They poor, this person got money, they marry him. Ain't got nothing to do with love. Period.
I think sometimes people, some people go into it and they may not be in love with one another, but they have a mutual respect for each other, and some of those relationships last longer than people that have gotten married and are so-called in love, you know.
You know, my opinion on that is when you first start dating and you first fall in love and stuff, you get those butterflies,
Yeah.
and you get that, and then you settle down, you get married, then the love transforms to me in a sense where it's a comfortable type of love, where you
Right.
see two older people sitting on a park bench who's been together forever.
Yeah.
They don't have that burning desire when you were I can't say 60, when you were 21, 22 dating.
Right.
You know, but it's that comfortable kind of love.
Right.
And people don't realize, I mean, people don't underestimate that kind of love, because that's just as strong as the
Exactly.
butterflies too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and I don't want to get all scientific with it, but from
Do
what
what you do.
from what
I
I
mean, that's what
understand,
you do.
the chemicals that your body emits when you're in love, that nervous feeling, is the same as stress. It's your brain that tells you that it's a happy kind of nervousness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you cannot have butterflies for 20 years.
Yeah.
It will kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It will kill you. You know, so it's a kind of love that kind of, you know,
butterflies turn into an all-star.
Okay.
I'm telling you, because I'm telling you, man, when I
Or
used
the
to,
person of your dreams becomes the person of your nightmare.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember times pulling into the cul-de-sac about to pick her up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm getting butterflies
Yeah.
just seeing her. You know what I mean? Now it's like I come home and like, hey, you know, how are you?
Because it's comfortable.
It's the comfortable kind
Yeah,
of love, but
it's still
she's still
right.
gonna be your ride or die.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, she still take a bullet for it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still the same kind of thing.
Because the relationship has evolved.
Yeah.
You know, your mindset has changed too. You've grown together, so your priorities are different. It's not like it was at 20.
And it defines you too, because
Yeah.
I'm defined by the fact that I've been married.
Yeah.
You know, really, that's a part of it. And when Nate was talking about, you know, with a biological clock ticking, honestly, I can't relate because I got married at 27.
Okay.
You see, so, and first child came at 28. So I was in daddy mode. You know,
Right.
But so it wasn't a thing. So after, but one thing I can tell you is my perspective changed more so. Not when I turned a certain age, is when my daughter was born.
Okay.
As soon as she was born, it was like, okay, now what I'm doing has a purpose.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not just I'm not just being me. We're not just being me and my wife anymore. Everything that I do, every decision that I make, has a purpose. So
Yeah.
so some things I can kind of relate to. I'm trying to relate to some things I can't. But one thing I would say is that once you're married for a while, it does define you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. When you was 28 when you had your first child. You was talking about the butterflies and different things like that. When you would go see her, which was a good nervousness.
Yeah.
How did you feel about her when you held your daughter?
About my wife?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, because it was really, I was all about my daughter. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it was, you know what? I think the process going through it for the first time, I felt helpless. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Going through it, 'cause I
And
could-
watching her go
yeah,
through.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
you know, and I felt bad, you know, in a sense, you know, because
Because everything changes. Your
Yeah,
body,
yeah.
it's like such a shock
yeah,
to your system. And what I learned is that the human body, I think, is able to withstand, I think, about 20 decibels of pain. During labor, you experience anywhere from 30 to 57. So just imagine, I don't think a man can withstand that kind of pain, and just watching your body just change like that, and the amount of pain that you go through and bring in life. And that's why I always say, you know, as women, being givers of life, that's a big responsibility. when I think of the young girls just having baby after baby, but not understanding the magnitude of bringing life into the world, it's irresponsible for one, and then number two, to constantly put your body through that and not be responsible for the life that you create.
Right.
I don't, that's always been, because I had my son, I was 22. I was working 2 jobs, and I just remember after I had him saying, I'm never freaking doing that shit again, because it hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And I had so many complications, so...
Vaginal?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So, and I didn't take anything,
Oh,
so,
my God.
And it was such a shock to my system with me being epileptic, so I had like back-to-back seizures,
Oh,
so
man.
we both almost lost our lives, and I was like, listen here, y'all can tie my tubes because I'm done. So, but yeah, it's such a, it's a rewarding experience, but the amount of pain that you go through, and for me, I was in labor 18 hours. So, yeah. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that. So it's definitely not something
I said we had long legs.
like you did. All you did was
Oh my God!
fertilize the egg.
Listen. That'll be a conversation. That'll be a conversation that we will lose.
You sitting in the corner.
We ain't nothing during that time. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
All they feel that all you did was knock me up and all that
My
crazy
son's
stuff,
father
man.
kept, every time I looked up and saw him smiling, I was so damn annoyed. Like, what the hell are you smiling for? You see I'm in pain.
Oh man.
Yeah, so he was like kind of like every name that I can think of, because I got tired of seeing him smiling every time I looked up at him. I mean, I knew he was excited, but that shit hurt.
Yeah, well.
All you can do is take it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, let me squeeze your hand, and I probably damn near broke his hand because that pain was like nothing I had ever experienced.
You know what? I know this is gonna sound funny, but I've always wanted to know what that feeling is like.
What's the name of that finish?
No. Not to have a baby.
Oh, I'm about to say.
No.
I thought he said
You know the part about the the women get extra strength, when they get pregnant. And they want to hold your hand. I wanted to see what that felt
that
like,
feeling, it fades fast. I mean, I held his hand, I squeezed the shit out of it, then I was done with him,
Right.
It comes and goes because you're experiencing so much during that time.
But it's another part of that. It's the amnesia that sets in, because as much pain as you felt, as much pain as you went through, you can't remember it, in a sense. You know you were in pain.
Yeah.
But if you kick your foot, and you'd be like, ow, you know how that felt.
Right.
For some reason, women don't know.
When you have that baby, I think you kind of disregard the pain that you just went through, and nothing else matters because you see that new life, and you forget all about the, labor that you just went through because nothing else matters at that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to agree with you because it's like, after all of that, and you're looking down at that baby like, oh this was all worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
weird. It's a weird thing.
It is weird.
They call it the amnesia. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like you can't quantify. You can't relive the pain no more. You know you were in pain. But any kind of other pain, you can kind of relive. I remember when I broke my arm. Oh, I don't want to do that. I remember.
When you remind a kid when they get on your nerves. I was in labor 18 hours, and
you gonna talk back to me?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, that's the reason, man.
Yeah, we remind them,
And then I guess the last saying is, I brought you in this world. I take you out.
My son, 29 years old.
You know,
and
you
even
know how many
now,
times my mother done
yeah.
said that?
Yeah.
I brought you in this world. I take you out and then turn around and make another one that look just like you.
Let's see.
Then
I ain't going that far because
then I want to say,
no more.
I don't know if you be able to do that because you don't like my father. You don't like my father,
That's
so I
funny.
know automatically
That's
you ain't gonna do that, you know. But no, the reason why I was asking you that question, Quiet Storm, is because I know that guys tend to feel deeper love for their woman after the birth is over with. You know, after she didn't already have birth, and she's laying there, and you watching her to, you know, like, yeah, we feel helpless.
Yeah.
You know, but to have the baby laying on her, and she's just laying there asleep, it's like some men, I ain't gonna say all, some men feel a more deeper love, like, I will never let nothing happen, you know, to you, to her, you know, or to you, to him. You know, it's just, I think the love is deeper for your mate. You know, it's two different kinds of love, because, you know, when you have a son, it's like, that's my son, you know, I gotta be a father for my son. I gotta teach him the ways, you know, of loving a woman. You know, when you have a daughter, it's like, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure that, you know, because when you have a daughter, it's like, you gotta remember how you was when you came up.
Yeah.
And then you say, you know what, I gotta school her. I gotta make sure ain't nobody like my old me.
I think when guys have
My old me,
yeah.
you know, gonna try to come anywhere near,
Yeah.
you know.
But I think when men have girls, I think it is God's sense of humor.
Yep.
Well, he laughing like me, laughing at me like a mother. I'm telling you, he must be laughing his tail off at me. And my daughter's 10, girl turned 11. So I'm getting ready to start into that close to teen, you know, teeny stage. And that's gonna be a mess.
Oh yeah.
The emotions, and then once their hormones start kicking in, man, and they just getting emotional.
For no reason. Yeah.
Empty out the dishwasher. What I gotta
yeah.
What just happened?
See, I'm glad I ain't gotta go through
But
that.
I think God knew what he was doing when he gave me a son. I mean, I said if I had a son, I would stop, and my first child was a boy. Because I don't think I could handle a girl, because girls are so whiny, and I'm not that person. So
No.
I think when my granddaughter came along, it was different. You know, my son said, Ma, you never talk to me the way you talk to her. You know.
She knew automatically.
I think it's
That's the
different.
reason why God blessed her with a son.
Well,
Because she petty.
I am petty. I'm working
And her daughter probably would have been petty too.
Petty LaBelle.
But my granddaughter,
LaBelle.
I'm telling you.
Peppermint Petty.
Yeah.
Peppermint Petty. That would be me. I'm working on it, damn it. I'm working on it.
Tom Petty.
Queen Petty.
King Petty. Queen Petty.
And to be quite honest, my son isn't like that. He's
Yeah.
not like that at all. But now, and his little one, I can kind of see a bit of that in her, and she's like emotional sometimes. She's loud. I mean, I'm like, God damn, that's like a
But
little
on the other
kid.
hand, you saw some ways of your son from his father, didn't you? And you was like, you just like your father.
But his father was a really good guy.
Good.
So he was a really good guy. I always say my son takes his kindness after him.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Cause you know,
So,
I've seen your son. He's
He's a good
mellow guy.
Yeah,
Mellow
he's
guy.
a good
Real mellow. You know, real mellow. Real. You know how. I mean, you know how you can just tell a quiet, respectful.
He is very quiet.
Yeah.
He's very quiet. Hey, Sean. You said what happened? Oh, okay. He said invite him again. Oh, let me do that. What up, bud? Thanks for joining me. Oh, so Sean says, I feel like you shouldn't rush love. True love forms itself. True love cannot be rushed. And I have to agree with you.
Well, how do you know what is true love? Remember? You know what I mean? Unless you...
I think that, I guess if I had to answer that question, I think that it is something that you can't force. You can be in a relationship, but if you are not in love with that person, you can't force it to happen. But I think that's what happens a lot of times because people get comfortable in a relationship and try to force it into being something that it's not.
Right.
Aaron says you also have to work hard to protect your daughter's reputation. Once it's ruined, it's ruined. Yeah, that's true. I had to agree with you there. Then Aaron says, Sean sounds like a Hallmark card. There you go.
What?
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah, this sounds like an R&B song. Feel like you
But
shouldn't
it
rush
can't.
love.
But you can't rush it. I mean, I think sometimes people say he done got excited. He almost knocked the mic over. I think that when you're in a relationship for a long time and it just hasn't sparked the way that you expect it to, you are, especially for women, we want it so bad that we try to force it, knowing it's nothing there. I don't know if men do that, but I know women definitely do that because they don't want to be alone and they want the relationship to work. Even though they see all the signs that say this isn't for you.
Well, I know Alexandria, she says that you were right. She says she know 3 people who married because they wanted a child.
Yeah.
And their clock was ticking.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know you, I mean, that's real with women. You know, but just like I said, you know, we as men, when we get close to our 40s, it's like we at that point where we really trying to figure out what we need to do with our life.
Yeah.
You know, because next thing you know, 50 is here.
Yeah, and you're
then
still
it's like,
single.
what the?
And,
and it's like, man, what did I do?
Yeah.
So it's more like after a certain point, you're looking at your legacy.
Yeah.
Or
Just
lack
like the
thereof.
person who just made the comment. Like, as far as my daughter, you know, I tells her that, you know, she's a queen. You know, you don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You know, as she still get older, I let her know that daddy's here, daddy love you, you know, daddy always gonna be there for you. You know, if you got any concerns or questions that you don't understand, you ask. You know, whether it's good or whether it's bad, always tell the truth. You know, I try to, you know, have her do that, you know, because, I mean, she's still in that, you know, little lying stage, you know, where you can look at her and say, oh, you lying.
She's a preteen.
Huh?
Yeah.
She's a preteen.
Preteen, yeah, you know. But as she's starting to get older, you know, it's like, you know, you shouldn't have never did that. You know, so she realized that. Very smart kid, A and B. You know, I'm proud of my daughter. You know, so she's on the right track, but it takes it just can't take one. You know what I'm saying? Just like you, it took you and your spouse in order to make your son to where he is now, your daughter the way he is now, your son the way he is now, my daughter the way he is now. Because you know we have to thank God. You know, your children are still young. How old is your daughter?
My oldest is 19.
19.
Okay.
She could be anywhere else, on the street, in jail. Your son, 22, right?
29.
29, could be anywhere, you know, in jail. My daughter, you know, she's still a baby, but, you know, I mean, who knows? So, you know, when you have two parents,
Yeah,
the love for your children
Hi,
is
Tara.
unbelievable.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, with kids, you don't know if you did a good job until they're like 30 years old.
That's true. That is so
Because you
true.
give them all of the opportunities. You
Right.
give them all of the... but it's still one thing we can't control as parents is free will.
That's true.
You see,
Okay.
And I have to agree with you on that because there are times where my son will say, Ma, I remember when you said so-and-so, you was right. And then I sit there and sometimes I want to cry because I'm like, damn. Exactly.
But you know what though, and I can relate to him. But when you a son, and you see something that you didn't shrugged off that your mother done told you,
Yeah.
and then it comes right back around, like it takes something within us to be like, man, you know, you're right. You know, like we gotta eat that. We gotta suck that up.
But that's big of him for him. To
Yeah,
Yeah, and I mean,
most
that's
definitely.
we've had like quite a few of those moments, and
Yeah.
I sit there like, you know, he used to look at me like I was Susie Sausage Head or something, you know, like I didn't know what I was talking about, and I'm like, the game ain't changed, it's just a different, you know, different time.
And his mother's a freak, so
Really?
you know, so
Really?
I already know she gonna school
Really?
him on these broads
You
out
damn
here.
right, and that's exactly
Boy, he
what I said.
boy, he going to
exactly
get this
what I be
relationship with the
saying.
third eye. The third eye.
Damn right.
I'm
damn
telling you,
right.
he gonna see right through the bullshit.
Let that
Damn
girl
right.
walk through that door with a whip.
Huh?
Yeah, well, if they walk through the door with a whip, son, you need to run.
No. Lying ass, you gonna be like, that's the one. That is the one.
If they got a
Come
whip,
here,
son,
baby.
son,
Daughter-in-law.
If you listening, if they got a whip, you need to run. You need to run. That ain't the one for you. That ain't the one for you.
Do as I say, do, not as
Not
I
as
do.
I did.
Dude,
Yeah,
right.
but
Dude,
I told
dude,
y'all, I think I
dude,
told y'all
right.
the story of when I showed them how to put a condom on. I used a vibrator. And the first thing he asked was, what you doing with that? I said, this ain't about me. We talking about you right now. Don't ask me no goddamn questions.
No, I'm sorry. I would have to ask questions.
If
I saw my mother trying to show me how to use a condom on a vibrator,
Yo, I'll still be in therapy.
you know what? I be asking motherfucking questions.
I'll still be in therapy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look. Every time, look, cell phone on vibrate. What's wrong with you?
Doctor, it was so big.
The sound of
It was so
vibration.
funny. It's like, what you doing with that? I was like, don't worry about that. I'm trying to show you some stuff.
The sound of vibrations.
It wasn't
you know.
vibrating though.
Yeah, really?
All this time, I thought she was making margaritas in the bedroom.
Margarita.
All that vibrating.
You know what? I can't joke. I cannot joke. I think I told you this before. When you're a child, there's certain things you don't know, certain things you do know.
Yeah.
Because your parents tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one particular situation, I did not know. So, you know what dish is?
Yeah.
Okay, you know. When you're a child and you see the bottle laying in the bathroom.
It was an old-fashioned thing back then.
No, not that one. Just the one that looked like a Capri Sun bottle with the plastic.
Talking about the bag.
You know what I'm talking about, the bag.
Yeah. No, we ain't talking about that.
And I was like, oh, damn.
No. I'm talking about the little bottle, about this big.
Did you say the Capri Sun? Did he
With
say that?
you know.
I cannot with you right now.
With the long plastic part, had all the holes in the front. Man, listen, when you're a child, you don't know what that is.
Did you
In
call
our
it
eyes,
Capri Sun?
no, I ain't put my mouth on it.
that's
Hell no.
what-
Hell no. I mean,
Did you play with it when you were taking a bath?
Okay.
No.
Rubber dub dub.
no,
Don't judge me.
no. I didn't play.
You played with it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Shame.
And that was the bag.
Yeah,
The bag. Do you
yeah,
remember the
like a
bag?
bag.
I remember the
Yeah,
bag.
that was the bag.
Yeah.
I remember the bag, but no, she didn't have that one. She
I
didn't
mean,
have that
and
one.
like when we used to go in the bathroom and you see that flat hanging over the door, I'm like, God damn. She doing this right now.
Now the only bag that I know of back in the day was the hot water bag.
But that's what it looked
That
like.
was the douche bag.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
What no goddamn
That was
hot water bag? That was the douche bag, man.
Oh Lord!
What you need a hot water bag
The
for?
rubber thing?
Yeah.
Oh Lord!
What you need a hot water bag for?
That was the
Exactly.
Oh my God! You gotta be kidding!
Look, he go.
No, man, that was the douche
That was
bag.
oh Lord! At 39.
Oh my God.
At 39.
Well, don't
I
ever
thought
say
that
that
was the
again.
hot
Not
water
right. That
bag.
was like a aha moment.
Yeah, you're right. Do it again, please.
Oh.
Thank you. Ain't that something? Oh my God!
Did he say hot water
I
bag?
thought it was a
I'm
hot
stuck
water
on
bag.
that. Oh
I didn't
my
know that
God.
was a douche bag.
It was
Oh
a
my
douche bag,
God!
man.
Man, you should have seen me. I'm
Because
up
they
there.
wasn't
I used to, as a
using
child, I'm up there flagging, waving at this stuff.
Capri Sun things back then. That was the thing.
Well, you know the little mastingales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come.
Well, I'm 51.
Remember, he's 39.
Yeah, I'm 51, and we didn't have them.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
probably at that cusp, yeah.
Right, yeah, when it was changing over to the high tech, to the Capri Sun.
It was a reusable.
It was a reusable. That's
Oh,
why I used to
my
get
God.
mad when I would go in the bathroom and see that, and I'd be like, Ma.
Rubber dub dub.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wonder
man.
if my little brother, well, Mike 45, so he probably knew what it was.
Mike,
Mike.
you hear, Mike?
You knew what the
You knew
water
what that-
bag was? Not the water bag, but the douche bag. Remember that bag used to be on the bathroom door?
Oh, my God. Mike.
Mike probably ain't know what the hell it was. He probably was like, what is that?
Oh, man.
You know what that was? It was a daggone prop for my superheroes when I took it back.
Oh, man, I tell you. That's
I
funny.
cannot believe you, man. He talking about the hot water bag.
Yeah, no,
Oh my God, that
man.
was
You know
pretty interesting.
And I ain't know about that until, remember, because when I was in my late teens, I was dating an older woman, and I ain't know nothing about that until, I was dealing with her.
But I would see it.
Well,
So
hold
that-
up, wait a minute. How much older?
Huh?
Huh?
She was 4 years old.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
ain't bad.
Now, how old were you?
I was 19.
Okay.
And how old was she?
Well, 4 years older, so
23,
yeah.
24.
That's not bad.
That ain't bad.
Yeah. But she used the bag.
She used
The Capri Sun.
The Capri Sun.
I was like, oh, that's your secret?
I'll see.
The Capri Suns. I mean, I didn't use it in the tub, no. I mean, I knew that
You
was for
playing
my
with the hot
mother.
water bag?
No, I'm talking about the Capri Sun one.
But I'm talking about the hot water bag.
Yeah, not the hot water bag. Not
Because he
that one.
hesitated on that.
Not that one. See, when you're a kid, if you unfamiliar with something, you ain't touching it. You ain't touching it. But the Capri Sun one, yeah, I'd fill it up with water and squirt it.
Oh
Only
my
bad part
God.
about it is when it squirted
Sideways.
It went sideways.
sideways and everywhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no,
Yeah.
oh Lord, I ain't playing with this. This ain't no
Oh
toy.
my God, that is hilarious.
This ain't no toy. I hope my
That
mother ain't
is
watching.
hilarious.
I hope my
Wow.
mother ain't watching, but hey, that's life.
That's life. Yeah, I wonder if Greg.
Oh,
well, he never
Lord, the
said
hot
anything.
water.
You still
Boy,
traumatized by
that is,
that.
oh my, yes,
You
yes.
never
My
look at
mother had that
bag
laying
and
over the
say, I don't even
door.
know if they still make them now.
No, Lord, they didn't.
Disposable. Right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
disposable, yeah.
One squashy and throw it away.
And nowadays, I think back then they probably did that a bit more regular. Nowadays, they said doing that on a regular basis isn't good for women.
Right.
Because it causes infection.
And the thing about it is, it's like I was saying, dang, women, y'all got it good.
Do we?
Y'all got it good. When a woman get the dishing, you go down that aisle. Next thing you know, you start seeing all of the damn flavors: salt and vinegar, apple and cinnamon, barbecue,
I'm done
sweet
with
and
him.
sour.
I'm done with him. Because he always got to equate it to
Chipotle.
food, okay? You get some Chipotle mess and Gil, it's going to set your stuff on fire. You really
Sriracha.
going to be on
Sriracha.
fire.
Girl, you sure smell good today. Oh, that's that
Hi,
teriyaki.
Maggie
that-
said hi, Nate.
Hey. Oh, Lord.
Tell Maggie Nate the only person she see.
Maggie, is Nate the only person you see? Because I think I said hello, and the quiet storm saying hello, but you're not saying hello. We want some love, too.
That's funny.
So, I think that's pretty interesting, thinking about the hot water bag. I have to find out what, aside from the
Listen.
vibrator, what else have my son seen? I think it's just the vibrator.
Anybody that's older than you that you know, they still got one. That thing is historic.
At this
Not
point,
only
with
historic,
the
it was essential.
disposables,
But
Yeah,
it
it
need to be
wouldn't
put in the
make
Guinness
sense,
Book of World
though.
Records.
it wouldn't make sense.
You ain't still got one, do you?
I never used the bag. That was like, I'm 51, so they had the Capri Suns.
Oh my God!
Suns, like that. I think I'll probably always look at them now as the Capri Sun. Well, Maggie says she just see me, so let me just. Can you wave to Maggie?
Hi, Maggie.
Oh man.
Wow, so you done set us back with the hot water bag. If I could think about what else I've seen in my bathroom coming up, I think that was it. Just the bag.
That was only unusual thing that you know as a child you look like, what is that?
Or the pantyhose hanging from the goddamn shower rail. I didn't really dig that too tough.
No, nobody did, especially when they were still dripping.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
Still dripping and look, you
trying
trying to get it, trying to get in the tub like
dripping on your back, yeah.
man. And then my mother had the nerve to say, "Don't get my pantyhose wet." Well, I'll take them down.
Yeah.
So put them outside somewhere or something. You know what I'm saying? Because see, my mother took pantyhose, you know, when they get them runs, my mother knew how to repair them.
Really?
How do you repair?
What, with fingernail polish? I'm just saying. That's an old school.
That's old school right there. My mother was taking fingernail polish
You
to
got
repair.
Maggie Black?
Huh?
You got Maggie Black?
Magic Black.
It's Maggie Black from your feed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry, Maggie. Well, at least you're still able to tune into the show.
No, I'm getting ready. There's a lot of people who I blocked in the beginning, but you know, I'll unblock them.
Man, this ain't personal. This
I'll unblock them.
Anyway, we're gonna move on from that. We'll have a sidebar afterwards. Where was I? I lost my train of thought.
I mean,
somebody pick it back up for me, please.
I mean, when you coming up, there's a lot of things you see in the bathroom, like mom's girdle. You know, y'all probably ain't never seen that. But.
No, I've seen the girdle. You know.
Yeah, but not hanging up already just finished being washed.
And hanging up on the back of the door or on the shower rail or wherever there was a free space.
And my mother used to wash hers with straight bleaching water. Let it sit in bleaching water, and then she'd wring it out, rinse it out, wring it out, and then hang it up and let it dry. Ain't that something? Man, I ain't seen too much about my father. The only thing I saw was shaving cream and razors.
Yeah, and I hated that magic shave that smelled like shit. Y'all didn't use that?
No.
I mean, he would get the newspaper, spread it in the sink, and take the butter knife.
I'm trying to understand if I'm using that knife.
Are you using magic shave? Do they still make magic shave?
I see it.
I mean, it. Oh my God!
The shave is crazy?
It. Yes, I hated it.
I'm trying to remember if that's. I hope that's not what I'm using now.
Well, I'm sure by now you talking. I mean, hell, I was a kid, so you're talking like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the smell should be a lot different now, but at that time it smelled like shit. And then he got the after cream.
See,
High
karate.
Then he
You
was
know what?
going
I've
that
never
cat
smelled
daddy
that.
move. Well, Aqua Velva.
High karate.
High karate.
I never smelled high karate either.
All that Avon stuff, man.
Now, see, when we was coming up, my mother kept me and my brother in Brute.
Oh yeah, they still make Brute, and I'm surprised.
Brute, and
No Old Spice.
No, well, when we smelled Old Spice, we smelled when as a child when you smell Old Spice, it's like, it smell like old man.
That's
that.
what you,
That's it, yeah. But there was at the independent. Put it on. They thought they was.
They thought they was
King
the bomb.
Dingling.
Exactly.
Exactly. The English leather.
English leather.
Yeah.
Then you put the sulfate in your hand.
Okay.
Afro
My
sheen.
dad had the pick, the Black Power pick.
Yeah.
And he put that leather jacket on with his pack of double Mac gum in his pocket. He was hitting the town.
Please don't talk about sulfate.
Go on my Facebook page. I posted some old pictures of my dad with his belt bottom. We used to play. You know, they were clean.
Salt for 8 has been good to some people. Okay, and it's still good to me.
I can't tell.
You a damn lie.
It's a
Shit, this head ain't shiny for no reason.
I know this when he come in. His head is always shining. I'm like, he
That's
must be
right.
able to spit
Because
shine.
I deal with eczema.
Before he comes.
I did. Don't fucking judge me. Shit, I won't be the talking motherfucking town.
Oh my God.
I got salt for 8 shampoo and grease.
Yeah, wow.
I can't, man. My eczema is terrible.
Okay.
It's terrible. Real terrible. So when I saw that was medicated, I was like, oh, I can't stand the smell. But guess what? It stayed on me all night.
Gotcha.
So salt for 8 still out there. You know,
so we kind of got off topic a little bit, so let's
we
reel
did.
us back in.
Because I was going to jump on.
Yeah, we went too far out there, but
Yeah,
I mean,
we
our
did.
topic was about love and waiting for love. Are you patiently waiting for love? Are you impatiently waiting for love? And it's interesting to hear male, female points of view, because as I mentioned earlier, when you're 30 plus for a woman and you're single, no children, you're kind of in a panic, like my biological clock is ticking and I need to figure some stuff out, you know. How long is too long to wait for love? Do you put a time limit on it? Because it is something that's supposed to happen naturally.
So when you're rushing it like that, or when you're in a panic mode, how does that influence your decision-making process?
I think it makes you sort of desperate, and
Yeah.
probably the first person that come along and show you some attention, you try to make it into more than what it is. And I think women are especially guilty of that. So, and then, I mean, I don't know how men are. Do you all force relationships? Especially if you've been single for quite some time.
Forced relationships.
I can't say.
I mean, everybody.
I may have.
Yeah, everybody forces relationships, but
I may have.
But the reason, I don't know if it's the reason because I can't remember if it's because I was into her, or it definitely wasn't because my biological clock was ticking.
Well, of course, your biological clock isn't ticking. I mean, you all are shooters.
Shooters?
Yeah, I mean, you all can impregnate, as long as you're not shooting blanks, you all can impregnate anybody. Women, we don't have that luxury.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, anybody, I mean, I think.
Yeah,
I
did you say cheaters?
Shooters.
Shooters.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I mean, y'all squirters.
But I can see
That has
men.
nothing to do with impregnation.
I don't see men doing it as much as women. You know, at that age, with in the same circumstance.
Right.
But I can see men, forcing a relationship or pressing. Let's say pressing.
Okay.
But my question is when you're in a situation like that, as good as it gets. Of course, this ain't the spiritual love that we all once in a lifetime love that we always looking for.
Right.
A lot of times you're settling, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, I guess, to the floor, is how does that influence the decision-making process? Do you ignore those warning flags? Do you, some of the things, do you lower your standards?
Right.
Do you accept a situation that you normally wouldn't have accepted in the 20s, when you were in your 20s? What happens there?
I think what happens a lot of times, as you said about the flags, we see it, but we want so much to be in a relationship. I think that we get a lot of warnings. I think in our minds we've convinced ourselves that we can make it what we want it to be. Even though that's not the case, and we are delusional, but we don't want to be alone. So we try to make him into the person he's not. We make the relationship more than what it really is. But in the end, by doing that, we still end up being the ones hurt because we created this big delusion. I think that, you know, my dad used to always say this, and it took me a while to actually get it. He used to say loneliness makes you do some strange things. I saw it later on in life in different people's relationships. You see people that are together knowing damn well they shouldn't be together, but for even if they have maybe, a few good times here and there, that's enough for them because they're in a relationship. And it's just like you said, they've lowered their standards because they don't want to be alone. So I have to tie it back to that statement.
Mhm.
Loneliness does make you do and accept some strange things. If I could just use a circumstance that I know about where, the couple got married and I said, you don't have to do this. And the groom's response was, yeah, I know it's not going to work, but I'm doing it anyway.
That's
What
bad.
the fuck,
Wow,
man? You going into it already knowing that it's not going to work. So why bother?
But why does that seem like such a? I think that goes on a lot.
I think that goes on a lot too because people want to be married.
He just put it in. He just said it.
He said
He's
it,
so
yeah.
concerned,
But my thing was, then why the hell are we here? I'm not
waste
going
time.
into a relationship that way.
Waste time and money, man.
I think
Y'all
that,
want to throw money away? I mean, shit, give it to us. Give it to me.
yeah, but I think that you're absolutely right. There are a lot of relationships like that.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. That's just too much. That's just too much. Time and money wasted. You don't really want to be with the person, but you're just doing it because you feel like you want to do it.
And I think they've always been good friends, so I think maybe based on that, he thought that they would be okay because they've always had a great friendship.
Wow, man.
Is that enough to solidify a marriage?
Well, what state are they in now?
They're divorced.
Look at that shit.
Huh?
They're still friends.
Yeah, because they have, 2 children.
They have kids.
Yeah.
While they were married.
And maybe that
Or
was
before.
That was the end game. That was the
Before.
result.
They had one while they were married.
That don't make no sense. That really
Well,
don't. That's
I
just a
think
waste
again,
of time and
I
money.
think that they loved one another, but I think circumstances probably they knew it wasn't going to work. But they were in love with one another. I think that they've always had that friendship, and I think that is kind of what always bonded them. Yeah.
You can always care for anybody.
Yeah.
You can care for people in a sense where, you don't have to be romantically involved
Right.
with someone that you care for.
Yeah.
But
I think they knew that going in.
Well, I think that she went in with the idea that this is my husband. I think he knew from the rip it wasn't going to work, but he tried. I have to give him credit because he tried to make it work. But some people are who they are. You know what I'm saying? And I think when you come to terms with it, you start to realize I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have made this leap.
And by that, usually when a person thinks at that point in time, it's already over. It's already over. Time passed. It's already over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Time wasted. It's already done.
Mhm.
It's already done.
I think when I think of marriages back in the day when during my grandparents' time and maybe even my parents' time, people stayed married, whether they were happy or not. But then you hear a lot of stories now where they were so unhappy. And my thing is, in this day and time, I'm not staying in no relationship where I'm unhappy.
Right.
If we can't work on it to make it change to where we're both happy, I'm wasting my time. That's how I feel.
yeah, but the women weren't empowered to do that.
And that's a very good point. I think a lot of times the women,
It was a men's choice.
it was exactly, and they were taught that no matter what, you stay in the relationship. If you already have 4 children and you are not working and that man is the breadwinner, chances are you're not leaving.
It depends.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, and I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned, but my wife is Ethiopian, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have a different, and looking at the culture over there, for a woman to initiate divorce, you have to go through all this legal stuff.
Really?
I mean, it's a pain in the butt. For a man to initiate divorce, all you have to do is say it 3 times
Are you kidding me?
in public.
Get out of here.
I divorce you, and it's done. You see, so you were just talking about a situation where, so let's say right now you said, if I'm not happy, I ain't gonna stay. But a generation ago, I'm talking, let's say 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Even out to the 70s, you know, in the 70s and 80s, you know, women weren't empowered to do that. Or
And
they
I
didn't
agree,
have the-
yeah.
They didn't have the financial clout. Or
Right.
They didn't have the ways and means to bravely do something like that.
And then you had the grandmothers, the older people, who would say, you need to stay home.
with him, you
You
know.
need to stay with
a
him.
man is going to be a man
Right.
and all of that stuff. And I
Right.
think those were unhealthy habits to teach, because then they pass that on to their children. And you have a generation that were taught a lot of
Yeah.
unhealthy relationship habits.
Now, the way me and you are raising our daughters,
Mhm.
we telling them, hey, you know, you're empowered.
Right.
You're this, you're that. So they will, I doubt very seriously they're gonna.
That they will stay in an
me
unhealthy situation.
My daughters already said they're gonna keep their last name.
Yeah.
They already said that.
I used to say that all the time.
You mean
too.
Simple. They're gonna keep my
your last name?
Hyphenated.
Wow.
They probably won't hyphenate it.
Okay.
They're gonna keep the last name. You know?
I just think it's too much.
So.
You know, my mother ain't keep her last name.
Uh-huh.
Well, I think we live in a day and age where women have a choice. I think
Yes,
that we
and
should
that's the
have
point.
a choice.
That's the point. They
Yeah, if I
empowered
decide,
now,
especially,
you know, and if their partner is fine with that,
right,
then you know, if my daughter is the total package that she is, and she says, look, I will marry you, but I get to do this and this and this and this. Okay.
and if she's
Easy to
built a
do.
brand, her name, you know, why should she change it? Because she's built a brand under that name.
Mhm.
So I totally get it. This is a different day and age. You know, we have more power, and it doesn't mean that the man is less, but we have a right to utilize our power. So it was different back in the day.
Completely different,
Yeah, and so when, you know, women were married and had 3 or 4 children, and maybe the husband might have been a son of a bitch, they weren't able to really leave like that because he was the breadwinner. So it was different. And I think coming up for me and seeing situations like that, it kind of made me hard. I know we talked about that before, because I'm like, I'm not going to be a victim for one. And if I'm unhappy and we can't make it work, I have the power to say I'm done. You know what I'm saying? That's always in the back of my mind. But generations ago, they didn't have that power. So I think about that a lot. I think about my aunt and uncles that were married for 40 and 50 years, and my uncle had like 3 girlfriends that, you know, over time, and he's been in those relationships outside of his marriage for 25 and 30 years. Man, that's fucking bullshit. You know, but they did it, and the wives stayed because they were taught to stay, and those were unhealthy habits.
Mm.
So
I know my, you know, I was a child, but, you know, my mom went through some unhealthy situations out of my father. And, you know, during that era, because she was born in like the 50s, so
yeah,
during that era, it's like I want to say the 50s. My mom is 62 now, so
yeah, because
Let's-
Harold is 50.
let's-
He's 62, so he's
yeah,
54.
54.
Yeah.
So around that time, it's like her mother would tell her, well, look, You know, you need to stay. You know,
Yeah.
a woman's place is to, you know, to make sure she's taking care of the house, and you know, he's the breadwinner and the whole
Right,
9
right.
yards. But at the same token, you know, when things started changing on a physical end, my grandmother wasn't more leaning so much of saying stay.
Okay.
It's like, you know, you don't need to be going through that and the whole 9 yards or whatever. But you know, like this day and age, just like you just said, you know, if it gets to the point, and women need to, you know, the women of the day need to understand that, you know, there's things you're gonna tolerate.
Yeah.
There's things you're not gonna tolerate.
Right.
But you shouldn't be to the point where something happening, you say, oh, fuck this, I'm gone. No, you gotta, if you married,
Yeah.
you gotta know that those things come up and you gotta fight for your marriage. Now, if you done all that you could do and ain't nothing changed, then hey, be like Jackie, give him the deuces, be about. I'm serious. I mean, hell,
I think
be
women,
about.
I think women back then did a lot more sacrificing.
They did. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes.
Because if you even think about the whole process, they had to wait around for a man to propose to them. It's not like they can go proactively sit and choose somebody. They had to wait to be chosen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So initially, you know, when especially don't talk about arranged marriages, you know.
Yeah.
But in those situations, the women actually kind of learn to love, and like you said, as good
That's
as
true.
it gets,
Yeah.
right? But they always say like a woman's heart holds more secrets deeper than the Atlantic Ocean. So a lot of times,
That's a true
woman,
statement.
a woman true love, the cheating, running around husband had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, and she probably, you know, who knows? They probably had a little innocent fling on the side. Who knows? But they
Yeah.
stayed together.
They stayed together.
And they did not. It wasn't no divorce was not, or separation and stuff like that wasn't a viable option the way it is now.
Yeah.
So
And then when you think about the church aspect of it, they didn't want the shame.
yeah,
You know, so that had a lot to do with why couples stayed together too.
Back then.
Back
Yeah.
then.
Because, you know, everybody back then knew your business.
Yeah. And that's like you look at it as a failure.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So to wait for love, you know, that's a statement that it's interesting to see how that plays out now.
Yeah.
With the millennials. You see what I'm saying?
Right, because I think that it's not the same for them. I think they're not waiting. They're more or less making it happen. Yeah. So,
Well, it all depends on.
Man,
It really all depends on what generation we talking about.
I'll say,
Well, he said
because-
millennials.
yeah,
The millennial,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm saying now.
you know, even down to the 90s, baby.
Man, they gonna start proposing to us.
Well, and this brings up an interesting thing.
Ain't that something?
Because what I didn't realize, and it definitely goes back to age for me, because my brother was telling me that if you send somebody an inbox or DM, you're basically saying you're interested. And I'm like, well, I communicate through DM and inbox, and it's business related. So are you saying that, he said, I'm saying the younger generation, if you get a message, that's their way of communicating and saying I'm interested, and I'm like,
Right.
well, god damn.
That's because it goes down in the DM.
But that blew my mind, because I'm like, really? Has it like really come to that?
Let me tell you, so much has changed.
That
We
blew my mind.
started off with notes. Hey, I need you. Ain't you in her class tomorrow? I need you to take this note and give it to her. I give you my lunch ticket.
Check yes if you want to check.
We
no.
did the check yes.
Check
You know,
maybe.
do you like me? You got
What
the
is
yes,
yes,
or
no,
no
maybe?
box. No, it wasn't no maybe.
No
We ain't
maybe?
do no maybe. It's either yes or no.
Oh man.
So,
I had low self-esteem, so I had maybes up
the hell with maybe, because I didn't want anybody to say maybe. You know, you got two choices, yes or no.
Well, see, you know, I'm like you. See, I was shy.
I ain't with that.
So
I was never shy.
I was shy. So, you know, doing if I got the maybe, it's better than the no.
You tell
It's better than the
I
no.
think to me, and
You
I'm
know,
the opposite, because
you know.
I think yes or no is cut and dry. I don't want the in between.
Yeah.
Either you like me or
But
you
when
don't.
when you are shy guys,
Yeah.
When you are
I've
shy
never been
guys.
shy though.
Let me tell you, it took a lot. Like I didn't gain.
Took a lot to even write the damn note.
Yeah.
You probably was sweating.
Yeah, you
writing
sitting there
the note.
contemplating, like man.
Yeah, I'm gonna give up.
And I'm talking about when I'm talking
And
about.
did you give the note?
Huh?
Did you
Yeah,
give the
I mean,
note?
I probably-
Okay.
yeah, I
Did you
gave the
give?
note,
Well, I
but-
know you gave it.
But I don't want no.
Hell no.
Oh, you got your girl to get a note.
Hell no. I got somebody else to give them the note. Somebody I knew that. Listen. First of all, back then you had to give the note to somebody who you could trust. That's gonna give them the note. I ain't talking about you give them the note and they be like, who you giving this to?
Okay, because
Who
that
you-
might be the person that likes you.
Exactly. You know, right. You know. So when you give them the note and you just sit there contemplating, and then especially when they reading it, and then you know they get ready to look at you, you doing your work and shit.
And you
You
look
know,
up.
trying to they happen to look up.
And
They
them butterflies
going
see
like
big.
that. Butterflies.
You can go
Butterfly.
anywhere.
Butterflies again. Butterflies again. So next thing you know, that you see him do one of the box, but you ain't quite sure what box they hit. Then the note come back to you, and then you don't want to use numbers like,
And if she reject you, isn't that the end of the world?
oh,
It was the end of the world.
So if
a
you
maybe
got
was the
rejected,
shit.
Yeah.
that means
She
y'all
said
shut
no.
down and y'all wasn't sending no more notes to nobody else.
Man,
No, because see, at that point, when you got a maybe, then it took every nerve in your body to go and say hello.
maybe
You
she'll
know.
give you a way. You know,
Yeah.
it's a possibility.
Yeah. See, maybe in our eyes wasn't
maybe it was
the no.
Maybe it was a. oh,
Maybe it was a, you know, I've been thinking about it too. You know, that's what our maybes meant. You know, but I, you know,
We didn't do the maybe. We
Yeah.
did yes or no.
well, see, that was cut and dry for you.
It's
Cut and dry for you.
Even I'm like that now.
We
I don't
prefer
like
the
that
maybes.
in between. I just want yes or no.
We prefer the maybes.
And
Well, it depends on the person, because I had a note written to me, and you know I can remember I think she wanted to ask me to ring dance or something like that.
Okay.
So she stopped me in the hall and was writing a note. I'm like, what are you writing? You know, and she said, you don't have to answer now. And I'm like,
Right,
you know, like,
right.
yeah, girl.
That's the shot. That's the shyness.
You know,
That's the shyness,
you know how
man.
fine you are.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
That's the
that's
shyness.
right.
Yeah. So
Wow.
she, you know, so it depends on the person.
That's true.
You know.
Yeah.
That's the shyness, especially once you got the maybe. I don't know about you, but I turned right around and wrote another
Yeah.
note
No, but yeah.
that says, "Will you sit with me at lunch? Yes, no, maybe."
See, that's
If you got two maybes,
that's some junior stalker
That's too
tendency.
much.
That's some
Exactly.
junior
Yeah.
stalker tendency.
That is too much.
don't
What's your-
fucking judge me.
That's
Don't
way
fucking
too
judge
much,
me.
'cause once you get the maybe to the okay,
Listen,
right?
listen,
Then he
first of
going
all,
back note after
Listen,
note after note.
listen. You was straight cut and dry.
Yeah, I don't
God-
want no maybe.
You with me, guys that was shy coming up. You know, it was something about if you asked a woman, "Do you like me?" or "Can we talk on the phone?" or whatever, and she say no, and your other classmates heard that.
Yeah.
Now you the laugh of the class.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that.
It's the end of the world.
That's the end. Like you ready to just stab yourself in the eyes.
Oh my God.
Bump
that is
that.
too
That's why
funny.
that yes or no.
That's why the maybe.
That's why the
Now,
maybes came
the
in.
maybe just seems like it just gives. You just want to know. For me, it's like, are you interested? Yes or no. If it's no, then I can move the hell on.
Jackie,
No.
Jackie, you were popular. Everybody
No.
tried, you know what I mean? She was popular.
But
Listen.
I
She was
wasn't
cute.
trying to be popular. That's the thing.
Have you?
It's like,
No.
I wasn't
No.
trying to
We
be
would've-
popular.
Have you ever doodled a woman's name in a book,
Man,
especially on a maybe?
man.
Man, let
We
me
the-
tell you.
We the dudes in the back of the class like this.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's a sensation.
The shy guys.
Man.
Are you a yes or no guy, or yes, no, or maybe?
Man.
It depends on the question.
We
Write
late-
notes in school.
we
Would be
late
the yes,
bloomers.
no, or maybe, or did you just do the yes or no? Because you and I are just a few years apart, so I know you probably did the yes or no.
You know what? I don't recall even having the notes in school, to be honest with you.
Okay, so y'all didn't
You
send
never
me
passed
notes.
a note?
I didn't.
Wow.
So how
Oh,
did
cool.
you communicate that you like someone? You
Until
bumped them?
Game of sandwich.
Until later on, you know, so
Put
we're
it
talking
on
about
Kelly basement.
high
Yeah.
school.
Oh,
I did.
yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I think I started
Wow.
writing notes at 8. Don't fucking judge
Listen.
me.
There's something about a note that when you get the maybe, I don't know about you, but I ain't tear that motherfucker out for shit.
You slept
You
with
hear
him
what
in
I'm
your
saying?
pillow?
Say what the fuck you want. Say what the fuck you want.
Same
That
pillow,
note,
wait a minute.
listen, that note with the maybe on it,
Yeah, he got some
and
junior-
listen, and you know that you didn't check it yourself?
He got some junior
The
stalking
same
tendencies.
pillow. The same
We see
pillow that
this.
you
Listen,
perform
listen.
Cunnilingus on.
You ever heard that song, Love Me Tender? Love Me Tender! Shit, they say what you
Oh,
want.
One
Say
thing
what you
that
want.
I do remember is in like elementary school,
Yeah.
we had the Valentines
Mhm.
where you had your little box.
Oh yeah.
And you had to do the note then.
And everybody would get it. You put your Valentines in the box and somebody else
Right.
you want. And the ones you got, you just give them that extra eye because it's like, okay,
Okay,
she
she
gave me a Valentine.
right.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Man,
a
you
one
didn't-
shot.
That
once
was
a year
yeah,
thing.
that's
Come on,
true.
come on,
too.
Quiet
Yeah,
Storm.
real quick.
You did.
Yeah.
We did the yes, no, maybe on the Valentines. Will you be my Valentine?
That's
Yes,
too many
no,
choices.
maybe.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can,
that's too
yeah.
many choices.
No, let me tell you like this. Listen,
No, you
Listen.
can move on to the next.
check this out. Check this out.
We ain't had no options, Jack.
I'm gonna ask my fellas.
We ain't
Had-
had no
wasn't
options.
wasn't
Move
it
on
a
to the
chick?
next.
Wasn't it a chick that was in
Oh
school
my God.
that you really liked,
Man, nobody.
that you had your eye on, and that was me. When you had a female that you like, that you think you in love with, you know, because we didn't know nothing about in love. We thought that when you said I love you,
That was it.
that was it. That was the greater
it.
thing.
You done said some major shit.
We ain't know
right
nothing
there.
about no in love. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
When we said
right.
I love you and you get I love you
That's
too.
it.
That was
Yeah,
it.
that was
supposed to
it.
be with her
That's
for
as
the rest
far
of
as
your
we
life.
know.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's as far as we
Exactly.
know.
But you know, when you get that maybe, it's like the start of a beautiful friendship.
But
What
Jackie
the-
said, move on to the next.
Move
I'm
on to
like,
the next.
You know, that don't happen to a skinny guy with a deep voice. You know,
Uh-huh.
skinny tall guy in high school with a deep voice. You know, who's
Yeah.
shy.
Yeah, you had a deep voice in
You
school
had a deep
when I was
voice?
Man, 13.
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad I wasn't the only one, brother.
That's funny. Oh my God.
Hold on, let me shake your hand, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But like I said, it's like you put everything. You take on. You know, you get up all of your energy and
Yeah,
everything. And,
yeah.
you
The
know,
nerve.
The nerve. That's it. Yeah.
and the maybe wasn't out.
And the maybe just seemed like it just gave too many
Prolonged it.
options.
But
yeah.
the reason that we
I
did
want
that.
to know right then and there. You know, don't tell me no
Well-
goddamn maybe, and maybe still could be no. Is what I'm saying. So
No,
I don't
no,
want to hear maybe.
because the
I
reason-
want yes or no.
The reason why we wrote notes, I don't know about you, I'm gonna speak for myself, but the reason why we wrote notes is because you may have that one that looked at you and said, hey, you know, you look nice today, or come on, we're going to the same class, let's walk together or whatever, or sat next to you to lunch. You know what I'm saying? So,
You talking about that one.
right, so when you get that, it's like, fuck everybody else in the class. Like, shit, they're talking about move to the next one. When you got your eyes set on that one, the other ones look like scallywags.
That was it.
You feel what I'm saying?
Particularly if you have
They
a
look-
stalker
they-
mentality.
Starting with that.
They look like scallywags. So, you know, that's what your heart was for. You start doodling their name in your book. You start writing your name and their name in the big old heart. And after the maybe,
Yeah.
it really, oh my
Now,
God.
going back to your statement about women, how we hold so much in our heart. As a kid, you know, I remember I had a crush on Kurt, which is one of my closest friends now. And I went with him. I think I might have been 9 or 10. I went with him. Then I met Butter. A few weeks later, I dumped Kurt. I went with Butter because Butter was cute. Then Butter dumped me for Charlene. Then I went back to Kirk, but then I saw another dude that was cute, and I actually dumped Kirk for him too. So it was kind of like
soap opera
I did. It was like I got bored. I got bored really.
See, in that whole time frame,
Karma is a bitch.
Look,
Just remember that,
in
people.
that whole
Karma
sequence
is a
of
bitch.
time,
And damn the notes.
I done
'cause we
wrote
wasn't
one note.
right.
I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
That whole sequence of time, I've been checking you
You
out.
stuck
for
on that
like
one note.
You know you killing me, right?
I'm playing in gym class. Then Keith liked me. Oh, okay. I know Keith liked me because Keith staring at me. So I didn't do the note for him. I just went over.
If you dress like that, I can see
I
why
went
they
over,
was.
tapped them, and that was the signal. So I ain't had time
A
for
tap?
that note. But when I did the note, I did yes or no. I'm just saying.
A tap?
If I would have got a
That
tap,
was the signal, a tap?
Yeah, we love tabs. Y'all never heard of that? Don't act like I'm the only one. I know you with me on it.
I had a little something like
Yeah.
that. That was
Y'all acting like y'all
No, because you would tap him on the arm.
Yeah.
Mr. Sensational would tap him on the butt.
Well,
You nasty motherfucker, you.
yeah, I can see that.
comments.
Yeah,
I can see
you
that.
tapped him on the
I
ass.
can definitely see that.
I was quite appropriate at that point in life. It was later on
Shit.
things got a little bit questionable.
Shit, appropriate my ass.
so later, it's like later on we became deviants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
quiet ones
because
at the
y'all are
beginning
shy
and the
now.
worst ones
This
at the
one
end.
definitely is not
Now
shy.
we're late bloomers.
No.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm with you. I'm a late bloomer. I was 24, and I still
When
was
you got
afraid.
your first piece
And
of
I still was afraid to talk to women
Really?
because I was afraid of rejection.
Okay.
I was afraid of rejection. It's nothing. It's no more of a hurt that you feel as a man when you go to a woman so sincere to say, "Hey, I would really like to take you out."
You know what?
The whole 9
I
yards.
can relate to that too.
Yeah.
And then
I
you
see
turn
that.
around and hear, "Oh, that's sweet, but
I just think if he
you're
was a
not my
friend.
type."
No,
Or,
the friend zone.
you
like,
know,
yeah.
I'm dating somebody, or
Yeah.
you know, had you, I don't know if you got this story. Had you came to me 2 days before,
Man,
it would have been. We could have had something.
We could have had something.
We could
real.
have had something.
But you know what? That turned into the shotgun theory. After a little bit of logic, and like, you know what? If you shoot enough buckshot in the air, you're bound to bag a bird.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
now,
that's why I said
Now,
if
I
you
mean,
eliminate
okay.
the maybe, you move on to the next.
Right.
I mean, you learn because those experiences made you the person you are today, right? But it even got to a point
Well,
where with me, it was like I can remember a certain strain, let's say early 20s, late teens.
Mm-hmm.
All of my relationships were because of the female initiator.
Okay.
It wasn't somebody who I went out and said, I want that, and I'm gonna do that. And it was like mostly it was like a situation where I was laying back in the cut, and it was like, okay, she liked me, What I mean? So it was like,
You were a lazy lover, sir.
yeah, I was a lazy lover.
We all did the same thing. It's like, okay, she pulled me up, all right.
Yeah, she pulled me up. She brought me a drink. Okay,
Wow.
yeah. So
That's
till
pretty
you learn
interesting.
the game.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know how you shy, but it takes one situation to
bring it out.
bring it out.
Yeah.
So
Is that the ass
back then, huh?
thing that brought it up?
You said the attitude.
The ass
No,
eating.
the ass eating.
No, the ass eating didn't come till later.
25.
Yeah.
Man, been right ever since.
Anyway, no, I was a big fan back then. I was a big fan of
Ass eating.
big.
Listen,
Listen. You ain't gonna keep on trying to embarrass me. Everybody
But is he embarrassed?
on my feed,
Because I eat it like groceries.
on my
You
feed,
get so derailed. So
our YouTube people, if I not right, our
He get all
Chronicles.
tongue-tied. He can't even get it
That
out.
everybody knows that I like to eat it like groceries. I mean, say what you want, but what I'm saying is this: that
the easy way or the hard way.
what I'm saying is that I got my burst of confidence because back then I was and still is a big fan of Notorious B.I.G. I was a big fan of Heavy D, Barry White, Gerald Levert. You know.
Oh, the big love.
So the big over.
So when you see them, and you look in Barry White with the voice, you know, that's why I knew I had got comfortable in my voice, because I'm like, man, Barry White pulling them, and he's saying, oh yeah. So next thing I know, I'm like, okay, I'm in that. Heavy D was the kind of person that he was big, but he could dance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Exactly. So next thing you know, I'm like, I'm getting into my weight, like whatever, like what, that big guy can move. Then Biggie was the kind of person where it was like
He was macking.
he was macking. You feel what I'm saying? Then you had Gerald Levert, the teddy bear that could sing.
Yes.
And so taking all of them.
Simmer down now, Jackie.
I know, I got high.
Yeah. So don't let me start. Don't let me start singing there. You know. But taking all of them and combining them, next thing you know, boom, it was broke. Now I'm like, hey, I don't care what kind of woman you are. I'll go right up to you, and just start conversing with you. And you know, I like to laugh, comedian. So I know how to break that ice. So I don't know what broke it with you, but taking them guys broke it with me. Because I said if they are big guys and they can do it with the women, man, please. What's wrong with me? Next thing you know, it was broke. I mean, when I say broke. Now I ain't scared no more. I ain't scared no more. If Gabrielle Union came in here.
Say that again?
I said if Gabrielle Union came in here.
You fall out.
What would you do?
Fall out.
And I got up off the floor.
Exactly. He would fall out. That's what I'm saying. He would fall out.
But I
would run. I saw deliver some even more than once. I'm like, I'm scared of it now.
But I would and I got up the floor, I would brush myself off and be able to talk to her.
And be like,
But would you be
so you and
tongue-tied?
Dwayne, y'all tight?
You might be tongue-tied.
You'd be tongue-tied too if Gerald Levert walked in here.
No, I wouldn't.
You sure?
I'm not shy.
I'd be scared.
Yeah, me too. I'd be like, how'd you do that?
Because he passed.
Yeah, I think everybody would be a little tongue-tied.
Okay, exactly.
I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, I probably wouldn't be tongue-tied. I'd be like, wow.
That's all you would keep saying is wow.
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 It's you. It's you. You know, can I get a picture? Because you know I'm going to post that real quick.
Right, he be cheesing all over the place.
My new boo.
Yeah. It's time, yeah. So,
I forgot you.
we're going to be serenaded. By, in a few minutes, we will be serenaded by the Quiet Storm. But I should ask them, yes, no, or maybe. Are we going to be serenaded? Yes, no, or maybe?
Yes, we can do something.
Wow. See? And he only did that because she asked him. Straight cut and dry. So he gave her
I'm going to read some of these comments while he's setting up. Aaron says, the beauty of college, no just means she needed more tequila. I cannot with you. Then he says, people used to say the worst she can say is no. I found out early that it wasn't an accurate statement.
Wow.
Thank you for that, Aaron.
Wow.
Hey, LaShawna. Hi, Keisha. Thanks for joining us. It's funny because in school, I think that, I'm trying to think, have I ever been afraid to approach anyone? One guy in high school, I was afraid to approach him. But once we started talking, it was kind of like the rest was history. But I'm not really a shy person. Sometimes I wish I was shy, but I'm not. Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I just can't believe that you was at that point where your notes was just
yes, no.
Yes or no. Now, if you looked at me back in the day and sent me a note, especially, you know, I think you know, when we was coming up, Mr. Sensational. I think when we was coming
Well,
up.
Mr. Sensational was
If-
what? We're a few years apart. So he in the yes
Yeah.
no era. Y'all
Yes-
in the
yes,
yes
no.
no maybe era. We ain't had time for yes no maybe.
We got right to it.
We got right to the point.
Say what you want. Say what you want.
You on
The
Quiet
may-
Storm
the
was
maybe-
on that bullshit.
The maybe, listen, yes, no was just straight cut and dry.
Yeah,
the
that's
maybe,
all we want.
the maybe said, there's a chance.
Exactly. That's what
Huh?
it does. It lets
Like,
them
I'm
off
gonna
the hook.
bust your face right now. and tell you
Yeah.
no. I'm just gonna say maybe.
I'm just
May-
gonna say
no,
maybe because I don't want to hurt
limbo.
your feelings, but hell to the no.
I can't.
No, I don't, no.
Okay, you-
I can't.
No,
I just
'cause if
want
that
you-
was the-
it's
if that was the case,
if
they
it's
would've put a
I
no.
want you to say flat out no. Then
If that
I'll
was the
move
case, they would
on.
have put a no.
Give me
No,
something.
maybe lets them off the hook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We
I
ain't
think-
got
I think-
time. Our generation ain't had time for being let off the hook. We want to know right then and there. You ready? Okay, so we will be serenaded by The Quiet Storm. Can we see? We can't see them.
Anybody else?
All right.
Oh, head in the way. Because Nate won't shake his shimmy.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't shake too hard, Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm not. I know. I'm remembering the chair.
Lord have mercy. Woo.
I'm remembering the chair.
Yeah.
Hey. Get up.
Everybody get up. Yes, no, baby.
Right.
Give your contact information.
Richard Semper, Trinidad and Tobago Baltimore Steel Band, Tropical Soul, Jazz Project. Hit me up on Facebook, like me, ping me, poke me.
Poke you.
Poke.
Okay.
They still poke?
Whip you. I never understood the poking thing. Yeah.
Well, they do.
Yeah, all right.
I like that.
Hey.
Hey. Everybody get up.
Everybody get up. Well, how we looking? Time. 10 minutes.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, I don't have my watch tonight. So, you have heard the wonderful sounds of The Quiet Storm, Mr. Richard Semper. As he mentioned, you can hit him up on Facebook. We're going to close out tonight with some final thoughts. But first, let me remind you that next Monday, July 31st, we will be at Corinthians Restaurant and Lounge, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Please, if you're in the area, stop on by, holler at us. I won't bring the whip, so you don't have to be afraid. The address is 7107 Windsor Mill Road, Windsor Mill, Maryland, 21244. I have to give Corinthians a shout out because they always roll out the red carpet and
Yes,
they always want us to come back. So I think that's a great thing. And I am hoping that Mr. Sensational will be joining us. It'll be great to have his presence. Definitely. Is that a yes or no?
Oh, I don't go outside.
Oh my God, he's not ready for prime time. He did make that perfectly clear to me. I just thought that I would mention that anyway.
Oh man, that's
but
funny. That's
we'll
funny.
be there, and it'll be a great time. Corinthians has great food, crabs. What's that? Great food, crabs,
They got dollar crabs.
drinks. They got dollar crabs next Monday.
Dollar
So
crabs.
if you're interested in that, please come out and join us. We like to hear what you have to say. And my final thoughts on waiting for love, I think that it is something that cannot be rushed. There's a quote that I like, and I got this from a movie, The Butcher's Wife, and the quote is, "Love is the leap that can't be denied." I definitely believe that wholeheartedly. I think it's something that shouldn't be rushed. I think it is something that I don't even think you have to work on it. It just happens. It's supposed to happen naturally. But that's my take on it. I want to turn it to the fellas and let them give their final thoughts.
I guess my final thought would be saying from the preacher's wife.
The butchers.
Huh?
Oh, you said
The preacher's wife.
Oh, with Denzel. Okay,
The
yeah.
preacher's wife.
Okay.
How do you keep the candle of love in your life, in your lives, from burning out? Never let it burn out.
Okay, I'm going to turn the camera because I want him on camera.
Never let it burn
He
out.
gives his final thoughts.
Also, love yourself first. When you love yourself first, then you'll be able to love
Give us the quote.
the next person.
Just saying.
You don't have to give a validation on who you are in order for that person to love you. So, love yourself. Everything will fall in line.
Bullshit, but that's it. Come on now. He's the wrong person to ask. Come on, just a final thought on anything.
Final thought. Go Ravens.
Did you just say go
Did
Ravens?
you say go Ravens? Okay, and Mr. Sensational.
Oh my
Final
God.
thoughts. Not Mr. Sensational.
Quiet
Quiet Storm.
Okay.
Final thoughts.
I'm gonna give a quote from Dolomite.
Oh my God.
Oh man. I was ready for it too. I was ready for it.
No, I think love should come natural. Love is something that you should wait for if it feels right for you.
Yeah.
But we never know. So sometimes you have to take take a leap of faith, and but you gotta love yourself before anybody can love you.
Absolutely. All right, YouTube, we are out. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next week. Oh, did you do that's your little dance? Give us that again.
Just a sprinkler.
Oh my God. I'm just
shucks.
saying. Where's my whip?
Right.